Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn Liu from the Box Press Studio. And from the Bastania Studio, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. I'm totally off a tangent. I've been playing a lot of Diablo 4 because it just came out.
Hmm.
It just takes me back because I don't remember where the original Diablo was, but it must have been like the early 90s, I
Yeah.
want to say. So, it's just like, man, still making Diablo games. Still kind of the core of the game is exactly the same, just fancier graphics and stuff. But I'm still
Yeah, I
sitting on my
think
couch playing it.
I saw I saw a picture or something somewhere where somebody said that some woman said that her boyfriend or husband was reverted to a teenager since Diablo 4 came out, and it showed a picture of his like desk, and it had like five bowls and like seven like bottles of soda and stuff set
Yeah,
next to
yeah,
it
yeah.
because you just can't get away from the machine. You're just eating and drinking and whatever everything there. Only time you move is to go to the bathroom, kind of a
They've
thing.
got the
So
formula, man.
yeah,
It's like the one-armed bandits in Vegas, you know what I mean? They've kind of perfected what it is and they know what it does and
yeah.
you can't get away from it.
All
Or
Speaking
you
right.
of
can't get away
Oh, go
from
Diablo,
ahead.
things.
I have Diablo. I can relate in the sense of so my baby's eating solids, and if you guys
Oh,
have babies and they eat solids and they shit in their diaper, wow, you talk about a smelly pile of hot shit. It is. It clogs up your nostrils, man.
yeah. All right.
Anyways.
Nice tie-in to our cigar review, but here we go. All right, so today we are talking about the Tatuaje Lomo de Cerdo Tuxtla. Cigar is a Robusto 5 and an eighth by 52. Comes out of the My Father factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper Mexican San Andreas, Binder filler both from Nicaragua, blended by Pete Johnson. Price point is $12. Cigars released in April of 2023. And we picked these cigars up from Corona Cigar Company. So if you are in Florida and you're one of the locations, be sure to stop in for a cigar and libation. But if you are not in the area, you can always give them a call or go to the website, place an order, and they will ship it to you very quickly. All right. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your overall experience like with the cigar?
I thought it was overall pretty average. It was medium full in strength, so I definitely got that like that kind of that hazy kind of a head noggin thing.
Yeah,
Changing too
But
many
nothing too
diapers, man.
crazy that makes your that makes your stomach churn.
right.
At that point, I totally would I would leave the cigar and I'll just DQ myself off the review. Uh, but in terms of flavors, I thought it was lacking. I especially think that, especially for like someone like Pete Johnson, in which I know he could do better. It's especially perhaps a bit more disappointing because he makes such good cigars in general. But this one was just very geared towards a lot of pepper spice, leather, tannins, cedar. You know, I feel like I was just talking about these flavors. Um, a lot of pepper on the rear palate as well. So, given all that pepper and that earthiness, and compounding that with a stronger cigar, it just wasn't a good time.
All right, John, how about you?
So it's interesting because the cigar started out so promising for me. Just like tons of creamy bakings, like kind of what like if you smoked really good tats, you're like, this is what I love in Tatuai. Creamy baking spices, wood, earth, the sort of rich, complex spices buried in the earth, chocolate. Just like a wonderful, medium full but tasty cigar. And then the second third, like June was kind of alluding to, as it progressed, it just kind of became more wood forward, and lost a lot of that sort of individual chocolate spices, earthy, like all those sort of medley of combination of flavors kind of fell away. So it was still pleasant, it just wasn't engaging. And the reason I mentioned that is because I got 2 hours and 47 minutes out of this cigar, which is a phenomenal value, but it's also a very long time to be smoking a cigar. And for sort of two-thirds of the cigar, I didn't particularly find it that dynamic. So it was kind of a lot of my afternoon. Still pleasant, last third was still pleasant. It just, didn't have that sort of Tatuaje engaging quality. I will say that the funny thing is, because we've been talking about construction issues, and I know we've been getting roasted a little bit in the comments. So this came from the exact same humidor that all of the other cigars came from that have been having construction issues. And it goes to show that factory and rolling does make a difference, because it had a perfect draw, and for 2 hours and 47 minutes had a perfect burn. No issues, no waviness, nothing. So for me, overall, just kind of a slightly above average flavor profile with excellent construction. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with earth, black pepper, and light meatiness. Got some creaminess that joined in a bit later. Second third saw the meatiness depart, and then the final third saw the creaminess depart. Cigar for me had a nice start. Had a dynamic and potent flavor profile. From the second third on, the profile was pretty average. Just kind of components started to wane and drop out of the profile. I said this before with all the Tuxtla variations. This wrapper is just, I think, really overbearing to the blends for me. Creates a very earthy profile, and it's just, I don't know. For me, I don't think the blend underneath can shine enough with this wrapper on it. So it's tough to see how that works. But not a cigar I really see myself coming back to. It was just pretty mundane from that second third on. I also had some burn issues with it. It went out twice on me, so it was a bit of a bummer. But yeah, I don't know. It just this wrapper just hasn't shown well for me. I want to ask Pete when we go to the trade show. I was trying to get a feel for him from him, what he thinks on it. If he thinks that it's that that potent, it's tough for him to blend for it. I'm just curious, what he thinks about that. So I'll be sure to ask him. All right, so let's get into scores. Seth was at the top, but he wasn't available to join us on the video tonight. He had a 6.92.
Wow.
John was next to 6.1. Jiunn gave it a 5.75. I gave it a 5.65. So John, how'd that 6.1 match up for you?
Yeah, I mean that's the archetype, sort of barely, it's like slightly above average flavor profile with a perfect construction, and I think it can be a little misleading, because you start to see scores in the six and you're like, so that's a buy category, and it's like, well, it isn't though. Like this, to me, I think you have to get to 625 or above for me to be seeking it out. And the problem is that Pete makes so many good cigars. Like there's a long list of really good tats. And so this, while it's pleasant, and I'm sure a lot of people like that flavor profile, it wouldn't be in consideration for me, because there's just too many other good cigars to choose from. So the score matches up pretty well, I think.
All right, Jiunn, 5.75.
Yeah, it matches pretty well. It's just typical uh average score, especially disappointing. And okay, I know this doesn't sound fair, but I really do have higher standards when it comes to like Pete Johnson and like, well, Dion when he had better tobacco to use. Uh, uh, but like it's hard when when I know that the person could do consistent good blends, and then you have a dud come, right? Or like not a dud, but like average cigar come, because I wouldn't call this a dud. Um, but yeah, I kind of like we were saying, Aaron, within utilizing Mexican San Andreas, like I feel like in general, I don't like anything Mexican San Andreas that Pete does, aside from like, gosh, maybe the original Mexican experiment that came out in like into what 2015 or so, probably.
Yeah.
See, and I really enjoyed the new ME1 and ME2, but I think I was in a very small minority of people, because I don't think a lot of people like that. So that kind of supports what you're saying, that like I don't
Mm,
think people are gravitating towards the Mexican San Andre offerings.
yeah, you know,
Yeah, my 5.65 matches up well. Above average flavor profile. Bit of an issue with the burn, kind of dropped that down a little bit. So, I'd be, if I had perfect construction, I'd be in the 6.1s right with John. So, just didn't work out that way for the burn for me. So, a bit unfortunate. I don't know if there's any final thoughts, because we really kind of rounded this one out, talking about the wrapper a lot and all that stuff and how it's gone with the blends. But any other things you want to bring up?
I don't even remember what Pete's got. I mean, he's released so much stuff this year. I don't even know if he's got two to show off at the show. I just can't think of them at this moment. But it's a lot of releases for him this year and last year. So
Yeah, I mean, his exclusives for PC and TA from last year came out at the beginning of this year. And he's got this, and he's got another Kahunu that's coming up, or that just came out.
Just came out,
So,
yeah.
and he's got some more Tuxtlas coming out probably later this year, early next year.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what that looks like. But
It's a lot.
it
For
is a lot.
Fairly full portfolio, like just with this. I mean, God, I don't even know how many cigar lines he's got now. 20, 22?
A lot.
It's a lot.
A lot. Yeah, exactly. All right. Wherever you're catching this video, be sure to like and subscribe, but check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalace.com. Follow us on all social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Tuxtla.